Air signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I'm already getting these cards that are popping out. We have the Six of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Air energy. That's where all the conversations are being had. And all the other signs, it was like lacking. On the spread, I'm pulling 8 cards. 3 cards on my left for your connection. 3 cards on my right for your energy, and then 2 cards in the center. Ugh, feeling confused. 2 cards in the center for mutual energies. Now, of course, I did say your connection, so it could be related to what the heck? I don't know if it even captured all that, but let's keep moving. The cards on my left are for your connection, and the connection could be related to romantic connections, business connections, investors, friends, family, whatever it is that you're thinking about or focused on. Your person, the connection is going to be on my left, your cards on the right, and then mutual energies in the center. So we do have the Six of Swords and the Nine of Swords. That's Aquarius energy, Libra energy, and then Judgment, Sagittarius energy on your connection side. On your side, we have the Page of Coins, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. We have the Three of Swords, Libra energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, with the Queen of Swords. We also have the Knight of Cups, water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then the Four of Swords, Libra energy once again. So I'm gonna get started. We're gonna start with your connection in the position of what's going on right now. The Six of Swords does represent moving away from something, but if you can see, they're actually moving toward you in your direction. So it feels like they're leaving something behind, maybe leaving the past behind in order to move forward with you in a more successful and productive way. You can see that in this box, I'll call it, it's not really a boat, that they don't have room for baggage, right? So I feel like it's kind of a clean slate. This person is ending things in a good way. I kind of feel like, you know, those situations where it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm separated from my wife, but we're still living together because I'm looking for a place to live, and you know, like stories like that. If you've heard them, I kind of feel like, nope, not from this person. They're leaving a clean slate. It's like what they're saying is actually true, that there's no like hidden agenda or anything like that. We do have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords does represent a little bit of anxiety, but this is in the position of how they view you. It could be, honestly, it could be a situation like that, like I just talked about. They say, oh, things are over, I'm not with that person any longer, and you know, you've maybe had experiences like that before in the past, and you're like, well, that wasn't true then, I don't know if it's true now. So you're kind of feeling a little bit hesitant or reluctant to believe that, like you don't want to fall for the same old lines. So feeling a little bit anxious about that could represent, and you can see the family here, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm getting strong vibes. Like that's the vibes here that they're saying. You know, that a prior relationship is over, and I feel like there's truth though. There's truth to it. Just I would advise, now it's not true for everybody, right? But I would advise, if you see the green flags, trust the green flags. If you see red flags, trust the red flags and run, right? In the position of how they feel, Judgment, this is representing an ending, you know? Did I say Sagittarius energy? Because it's really Pluto, Scorpio energy, okay? Alrighty, so Judgment does represent transformation. It's like transcending to a new level, a new cycle. This person is ready. Like I mentioned, I keep hearing the words clean slate over and over. They're leaving something behind, and you can believe it. It's like trustworthy. they're communicating the truth. Things are ending, and I feel like they're really trying to like find happiness in a situation with this Judgment card. They're really trying to find happiness. Now, Judgment could also represent like court documents, things being finalized, right? A final judgment. For example, dividing and separating assets for the family, so that they can move forward in in a way that leaves them free and clear to do so. Of course, it'll probably be hard adjusting, but they're ready. This person is ready. So we have the Page of Coins here, and the Page of Coins, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, your energy. Page of Coins is a card about building, a desire to start building security. I feel like this is wanting to settle down vibes. You're looking for someone who you can build with, and it's like wanting a secure and prosperous future, but the lack of trust toward this other side is kind of like, maybe I can do this on my own. Well, not maybe, but I can do this on my own if this doesn't work out, right? So I kind of feel like that. The Page of Coins is one about learning and wanting to build and like kind of like an apprentice kind of thing. Like you're learning to do things differently, maybe train your mind to process things differently, spending differently, and all these other things in order to be prosperous for your future. And I kind of feel like your mindset is, well, I can do this on my own or with somebody, no big deal, right? That's kind of the vibes. Like I'm independent, I can do this on my own. We have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords does represent a distraction. And I feel like it's not that, generally when we see Three of Swords, you might hear of like infidelity or distractions, and somebody's maybe cheating or whatever. But when I see the Three of Swords, I really feel like it's an energy of being distracted. And because this is how you view the other person, in the position of how you view the other person, you feel like, I can do this on my own, or I can do this with somebody. I want to do this with somebody, but I can do it on my own too. Independent vibes, right? So you feel like this person is distracted, probably because of the maybe legal battles that they are enduring. You feel like they can't contribute to a prosperous and secure future for me, so I'm gonna do it myself. You feel like they're too distracted with that situation. They're moving out of a prior shared household, they're dividing assets, they're getting divorced, they're figuring out child care and co-parenting and all that stuff. They're too distracted to help you build your secure future, so you want to do it on your own. We do have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of like, I can do this with or without you. Queen of Swords, you're ready to cut this person off, because I feel like that line I said at the very beginning, where it was kind of like, you've heard it before, oh, we're separated, and I said you can trust this person, they really are. But I feel like you're still maybe on the edge. You don't know whether to believe them or not. You recognize that probably, yeah, you see court papers and court documents, but nothing is really finalized. So you're like, maybe I'll just cut them out of the system, or cut them out because, they're too distracted. Three of Swords. They can't focus on this connection, so I'm just gonna cut them out. I feel like it's self-preservation. What's the word that they use in relationship terms? It's avoidant. That's the word. Avoidant behavior. You're avoiding heartbreak because you're like one foot in and one foot out, because you don't want to be hurt. So you're like setting it up for, I can do this with you or without you. Cutting this person out. If they turn out to be lying, which I don't think they are. But that's kind of the mentality. It's like, I'm ready to cut you off if things feel funny. Knight of Cups energy, yeah, I feel like the expressions of softness are missing, right? The Knight of Cups energy is like sharing the emotions in a kind and sensitive way. Your experiences that you had with people lying in the past, they don't know about that, right? You might not be expressing that. But it's in a mutual space, so they might not be sharing things with you, and probably because they don't want to burden you, or maybe they're trying to set up their own lifestyle, so they're not imposing on you, right? They're trying to find this new place to live, but they know that you're trying to build financial security, so they don't want to like disrupt that. So I feel like you two are each trying to walk on eggshells around each other, not really expressing how you really feel about the situation and about each other. So we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords I love because, after three comes the four. After this hardship comes healing, right? And this is the beginning of healing. Now, it also is stepping to by oneself to kind of process things, maybe even the emotions. What's the best way to approach this? What's the best way to say this? And all these other things. But it's kind of like taking time to oneself to really process and evaluate the right way to do things, the right way to say things. So that's the Four of Swords. The healing that comes after some kind of hardship or heartache. Yeah, I think that you like this person, but you're trying to, it could be even self-sabotage, even though the Devil card isn't represented here, but it could be like you're trying to preserve your feelings or your heart because you don't want to be heartbroken. You don't really know if you can trust this person, and is what they're saying really true? And there's all these questions. But in order to come to a conclusion, it's not like, cutting this person out without a conversation is fair. I would say open the lines of communication to really get to the bottom of things. All right, let's pull two cards. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. I think goals are aligned, it seems like. Express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for being here with me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff. It's free for you, but means so much to me. If you want a personal reading in between these sessions, just reach out. I'll provide it for you. We'll talk soon. Bye.